All right, we live. Nice. All right. Welcome back, guys, to the reaction on a late night tip. Brent, can I get the chat up, please, just so I can see who's in the building? We are going to. Obviously, it's been a few days now since the Champions League final, since the parade, so we're gonna kind of, react to the final. Temperature check the last couple of days. How's everyone feeling now in the aftermath of the parade, the final? I've got a lot of notes, a lot of things I want to kind of discuss. But yeah, man, this is actually my first reaction show in a while because I've been doing watch-alongs for the past couple of weeks. If you're watching the stream, please like. Let me know you're here. And if you want to join the conversation, please call on 0203 8787870. Shout out to Miri in the building. What's the topic about? We're talking all things Arsenal post the Champions League final and the parade. We're going to get into the final. We're going to talk about, the parade and just the aftermath. I've got notes, so, hang in there and we'll get discussing. I just want a few more people to come into the room. So if you're watching, please like so I can kind of gauge, who's here. Yes, I went to the parade. I did go to the parade. Did you? If you did go, how did you find it? I went to Highbury and Islington Station, and I walked down to Holloway Road, and I kind of stayed opposite the Shell petrol station across the road. So that was kind of like my spot for the day. I'm not gonna lie. So it's kind of weird having a parade the day after a final loss, right? Obviously, that was a day they planned it from before, but okay, Finsbury Park, yeah. I was going to go there, to be fair, because I had a few friends plotted in different places. Some were in Finsbury Park, some went to Angel, but me and my cousins, we went to Holloway Road, which was a decent spot. To be fair, where I was actually, there was quite a lot of space for me to maneuver, but right outside the station, right outside Highbury Station was absolutely chock-a-block. But as I started walking down Holloway Road, there was a lot more space, so I was actually in a nice, spacious area, to be fair. But biggest parade, not sure you guys saw the news, the biggest parade in UK history, 1.5 million people, man. Beautiful sight. But yeah, for me, it was a bit of it felt like an anticlimax. Obviously, we lost the final the day before, so I was down. I'm still down now, to be fair. So to have to kind of like pick myself back up and go out and celebrate the league after we just lost the final was irritating, man. I'm not gonna lie. So I went there kind of down, and because I had already celebrated the league for a week prior, it wasn't like I didn't feel, I wasn't really in the mood, to be fair. But I went anyway because obviously it has been 22 years. So and that's actually my first ever parade, to be fair. So I had to go down. I was never gonna miss it. Did I see Saka? I did see Saka, yeah. I saw Saka on the bus. So as the bus came by where I was, obviously there was hella smoke, flares and grenades throughout the whole parade, yeah. But as the bus went by where I was, everyone decided to just let off more flares. And so the whole, atmosphere is red. I'm trying to get some footage on my phone. I'm walking into the crowd to get closer to the actual street. So I see Saka holding the trophy, whoever else was there. I got a very good picture actually of Jesus, Gyökeres, Dabaraya, Calafiori. I was just pressing my camera to get photos. But obviously, anyway, before that, as I was recording, because of the sheer amount of smoke, my eyes were watering. I started to choke a bit, so I had to retreat out of the crowd back to the pavement. But before I left, I just quickly hit press, and I just, hopefully I got some good footage. But I got a little video of the bus coming by, Saka holding the trophy, and a few pictures of some of the players. But overall, it was a good day. It was good vibes. Around where I was, there was everyone was just, vibing, singing songs, drinking, chilling, whatever, waiting for the bus. What time did I get there? I think I got there. The parade started at 2. I think I got there probably around 12:30. Got there about 12:30. Obviously, the bus has to go around the whole route, and I'm not sure where I was on the route, whether or not I was in the middle, towards the end, but it took a while to be fair, we saw the bus initially in that direction. So it came around the corner, and we thought it was going to come to where we were and then towards Highbury and Islington. But it never. It just went the other way. So we had to wait for the bus to go all the way around back to where we were. So I think we were kind of near the end, to be fair. TfL was a mess. TfL decided to close all the stations in the surrounding area and reopen them at a certain time. So I had to walk from Holloway Road all the way to King's Cross, and King's Cross was closed, and it was opening in like 30 minutes time. And then we just ended up walking to, maybe it was Russell Square, I'm not sure. It was one small little station on the side road. I'm not sure what station it was, to be fair, because I was just walking. I was just following my cousins. But yeah, it was because how many stations did we walk past? We walked past a few stations that were closed. But yeah, TfL was a mess. 1.5 million people. I guess they thought it best to do that, just to, I guess, on a crowd control or whatever. But yeah, guys, keep liking. Let me know you're here. Drop me a comment, and if you want to join the chat, if you want to call in and speak your mind and discuss whatever I'm talking about, the number is 0203 8787 all right, I got a laundry list of things to get into, so let me just start with a question I posed to myself. How do I feel now that the dust has settled? So this is a quick season, summary. Nothing too in depth. 2 cup final losses. Yeah, 2 cup final losses, and our first Premiership in 22 years. One might think that I'm elated by that. And I've been arguing all week about my feelings about the Champions League final, because some people believe I should be over it. I should have been over it 24 hours ago. Listen, I'm not over the loss in 2006. Right? I actually watched the highlights from that loss for the first time in my life on the day of the final. What day was the final? Saturday. Saturday just gone was the first day I could actually muster up the courage to watch the highlights from the final in 2006. And people expect me to get over this final in 24 hours. Oh, why are you still sulking? We won the league anyway. Champions League was a bonus. Yada, 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 yada. No. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. I can't lie. For me personally, the Champions League loss, especially the way we lost it, has left a stain on this season for me personally. And I can separate the two things. I can say, yes, in this pocket over here, we won the league, finally. Right? Not only for the first time in 22 years, but we've obviously been challenging for the last 4 years, and we've come second 3 years in a row, and we finally won it. So yes, I am elated over here on this side that Arsenal have won the Premiership. I'm elated. Yeah. On this side, on this separate side, I am devastated that Arsenal have again, after a 20-year gap, a 20-year wait, have lost our second Champions League final. And both those things are fine, and both those things can be true, right? I'm not in the class of the Champions League was a bonus, just be happy you won the league. No, that's not my mentality. I am pissed that we lost at that final. and no league can make up for it. I'm sorry, that's just my mentality. I'm happy we won the league, and I'm pissed we won the Champions League, and neither of them make up for the other for me. And that's how I feel. That's it. Oh, but we won the league. Champions League was a bonus anyway. It was a free hit. F off. F off, mate. Right? Some of you people who are listening, fans, whatever, you may not have been there in 2006. I was, right? We've lost our last 5 European finals. I repeat, we've lost our last 5 European finals. And I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. I was convinced we were going to win that trophy. Also, shout out to everyone who came down for the watch along on Saturday. Shout out DC, who was in the house. Nice to meet you, brother. Yeah, it was good. It was a nice turnout. Obviously, listen, I've still got whiplash from when Kai Havertz scored. I never realised it at the time that I had whiplash. It wasn't until afterwards that I realised I've got whiplash from celebrating. But when Kai Havertz scored, I lost the absolute plot. Pure elation. Pure elation. But we're going to get into the game. But I just wanted to start off with how I feel right now. And I'm still down. Like, I'm still healing from that, man. And one thing I can say is this, though. In 2006, I felt like that was Arsenal's only chance of winning the Champions League. And I think that's why I was so pissed off. Because at the time, just based off of where the club was, it was like this was our one and only chance, and we blew it. Whereas this time, it doesn't feel like it's our only chance to win the Champions League. It feels like we're going to get there again next season or within the next couple of years. So I'm not that upset compared to 2006, but I'm still pissed off. But I do feel like this team is good enough to win the Champions League, and I feel like we will win it in the next few years. But also, I was convinced we were going to win that cup. Like, I told everyone leading up to the game the week prior that it's ours. We're going to win it. It's done. Like, I was so convinced. I just felt it. For some reason, I just felt it. And for it not to happen, especially in that manner as well, was devastating. Because it's like, you know, when, like, if we got battered by PSG, then fair enough. We got battered. We wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? But we were good enough to win. And we kept PSG at bay. Like, everyone thought we were going to get battered by the best attacking team in Europe, and no, we had a defensive display, an elite defensive display, and we held them. Double team here, double team there. They didn't really have anything, and if it wasn't for that penalty, we would have won the game. And that's why I'm so annoyed, because it's coming down to fine little small margins. Yeah, all my notes are all over the place, so nothing I'm going to say is going to be in chronological order. So just bear with me, man. All right, the first thing I've written down is I think Saka played poor. And I think he should have been substituted sooner than he was. Saka played poor. The next thing I've written down is Havertz's goal. I've already kind of spoke about it, but big goal, you know. And he's shown us again that he's a man for the big occasions. You know, he scored the winner for Chelsea against Man City a few years back to win them the Champions League, and he got us our first goal. Roofed it, absolutely roofed it. I love that from Havertz. But his miss. Do you remember his second chance when I can't remember? He came in from his first goal was coming through the left, then he came through on the right side, and he just delayed his shot, man. If he would have shot a few seconds, a millisecond earlier, and at least got a shot on target, who knows, it could have went in. And he was in a great position as well, so I think he would have scored that. And that would have been 2-0 and it would have been game over. But he does what Havertz does sometimes and lacks conviction. He lacks conviction, man. So that second chance, to me, would have been game over. But big him up for the goal. So this is not a Havertz slander session. Like, big up Havertz. He got our goal. Arteta started him over Gyökeres, and he does the business. But that second chance, I was like, come on, man, that's it. Game is done there. Game's done. Game is done. Don't forget to like, guys. If you're here, don't forget to like. All right, yeah, I wrote down, yes, have a second chance. The next thing I wrote down was, when Gyökeres came on, he was doing the old school Heskey thing where he's playing back to the goal, long balls coming in, you got to either control it and then look for the runners, or control it, turn, do something. The ball just kept bouncing off him, bouncing off his chest, bouncing off his foot. The control wasn't there. So yeah, Gyökeres was Gyökeres. His touch was terrible. I think what could have helped is if, our attackers kind of played closer to him, where he could have instinctively just, knocked it left or right, but no one was around him and he just, shit show. Again, guys, these notes are all over the place, all right? Eze penalty. Now, actually, no, before I even get to Eze penalty, people are blaming Gabriel for the shootout, right? No, they're not. Sorry. Let me restart that. People are not blaming Gabriel and they're giving him grace, but obviously, because he took the last penalty, automatically the blame's on him. So initially it was the blame's on Gabriel, right? Since then, since things have settled down, he's not getting the blame, yada yada. And defenders seem to get grace because they're defenders. So it's like, oh, why is Gabriel taking the penalty anyway? Why is it not Zubimendi? Why is it not Noni? Why is a defender taking the fifth penalty? Yada, yada, yada. So the point I want to make is, one, defenders seem to get grace. I'm not giving him grace, by the way. I have an opposite opinion. You're a professional footballer. I've seen Gabriel side volley the ball with extreme tech before. He didn't score this particular goal, but I'm sure you guys remember what I'm talking about. Right? If you're a professional footballer, I don't care where you play, left back, right back, centre mid, defender, goalkeeper, you should be able to score a penalty. You're striking the ball. So I don't give Gabriel grace for being a defender. I don't. But I understand the lay of the land, the way football works. Okay, cool. Attacking players should be first. But to me, it should be down to who's confident, who feels like they can score, right? And reports say he said he wanted to take the penalty, right? So he took the penalty, the fifth penalty, and he skied it. And it was done. So obviously, naturally, he gets the blame because he took the penalty that eliminated us. Cool. Why Zubi wasn't fifth? Who knows? Maybe he didn't want to take it. Maybe he was sixth, whatever. People keep pointing to the fact that Noni was fighting tooth and nail last year for Chelsea to take a penalty when it was 4-0. Remember, who was he fighting with? Was it Jackson or Palmer or whoever he was fighting with, right? And you go from, again, this is just a narrative. I don't know what the real story was because who knows what was happening with Noni, but Noni didn't take a penalty in the first five. So it appears like you wasn't fighting to take one of the first five penalties because you didn't. But for Chelsea, you were doing give and take and fighting for the ball for 4-0 to take a penalty when your team was up 4-0. So a penalty, I can't even talk, mate. A penalty that had no pressure on it, you were fighting to take the penalty. When a penalty had a lot of pressure on it, you wasn't there, mate. You wasn't, you know what I mean? You didn't step up to the plate. So if that's the narrative we're gonna run with, that Noni wasn't brave enough to step up to take one of the penalties when he was fighting like a petulant child to take a penalty for Chelsea when they were 4-0 up, then Noni, you're getting a little slap on the cheek, face cheek. All right, Eze. So where do I put my blame for the penalty shootout? And big up David Raya for saving the penalty. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm blaming Eze. You see, for me, minus the game itself, I'm blaming Eze for this loss. It's Eze's fault. You know why it's Eze's fault? Because, and this is something I learned in hindsight, or I learned afterwards. You see that style of penalty that he took? The stutter step, and then he's done that bare times and missed. Someone put together a compilation of that. He done it in the Charity Shield game. He's done it before. He's done that before. And then there's a clip of Who was it? Someone's talking to Eze. Is it Saar? And they said to him, you got to change your technique, right? And he was like, yeah, you're right. I might have to. Fam, this is the Champions League final. Yeah, this is the Champions League final. And Arteta did say that Eze always scores penalties in training, but that's training. That's training, right? So this technique that you have, that I never knew about, to be fair. I never knew about this technique. This stutter step, I guess you're waiting for the keeper to move, and then you... In all fairness, he didn't miss by much, but you know what it is? You see when you take a penalty like that and you miss, it becomes all about the approach now. Because if he just stood still, took a regular run up and shot wide, it would be like, he missed marginally. But when you do theatrics and you miss, it's like people now are going to critique the run up. They're going to critique. Eze, critique the approach. And also, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't even like the way he reacted to missing. If you look at his face, yeah, he kind of smiles a little bit. He kind of kicks his leg over and he kind of grins a little bit. I'm like, why are you grinning, man? Why are you grinning? I feel like he didn't take it seriously. Am I bugging out here? It's a Champions League final. We know you can strike a ball like no other. The goal against Mansfield, the goal against Leverkusen, the goal against Newcastle, right? The goal against Palace. You can strike a ball. You could have smashed that ball anywhere, Eze, man. Just put your foot through it. But you decided to do crinkle crackle, bruv, and then you missed. And then what makes it even worse is David Raya saved. Hold on. Yus, you're being too harsh. Oh, about the face. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't mind walking back the face if I'm being harsh about his expression. Cool. You're a human being. You're allowed to react to things the way you want to react to it. Doesn't mean that you don't care inside. That's fine. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. Yeah. You could have took any style of penalty, a style that's going to be, No, sorry. What I was saying was David Raya saved the next penalty. So David Raya saved the penalty after that one, right? So Eze scores, and you know the way the universe works. The way the universe works is, who knows? Maybe Raya doesn't save the penalty if Eze scores, because maybe David Raya tried harder to save the penalty because Eze missed. Who knows? But that's just my theory. But the fact is, Raya saved the next penalty after Eze. And then it's advantage us. But guess what? It was just back on level terms. Right? And obviously, Eze did cry afterwards, and there's a very touching video of Arteta consoling him. So don't get me wrong, I do feel for him, of course. But I just don't appreciate the fact that you missed your last few penalties with that technique and you still chose to do it. It hasn't worked for you recently. It hasn't worked for you recently, man. And you still decided to do it. And this is a Champions League final, man. It's like when, when Brahim Diaz done a Panenka during the, I know that's not a Panenka, but you done a Panenka during the AFCON final. This is not the time for Panenka. Same way, I don't think this is the time for your start-stop technique that hasn't worked for you lately. Hasn't worked for you lately. The reality is Odegaard, Kai Saka, they weren't on the pitch, but that is what it is. It is what it is. Obviously, yeah, our main penalty takers weren't on the pitch, but they weren't on the pitch because they weren't playing well. So, and you know what it is about penalties? I think we give everyone too much grace. Oh, our main penalty takers weren't on the pitch, and it doesn't. These are professional footballers, man. I can take penalties. How about that? It's a penalty. See, penalties, it's advantage to the kicker, you know. It's advantage kicker. So, yeah, I know the people who regularly take penalties aren't there, but remember our last penalty shootout we had? Our last penalty shootout. Who was it against? It was in Champions League. Everyone was smashing it in with no problem. Yeah, Timber. Yeah, I was wondering why Timber didn't take a pen. Obviously, Marino wasn't on the pitch. I think Noni and Zubamendi should have been before Gabriel. Even Saliba's taken a good pen before in the Champions League. So, but again, Gabriel wanted to take it, and Gabriel is good enough to take a penalty and score a penalty. He just happened to miss. Right? I don't think anyone in here feels like Gabriel hasn't got the technique to score a penalty or hasn't got the ability. He has got the ability. He's a fucking world-class professional footballer. Yeah, he's a defender, but it doesn't mean he can't strike a ball. He can strike a ball, and he just happened to miss. Not because he's a defender. He just happened to miss because he missed, right? But if I'm doing the blame game, who do I think should have scored their penalty out of Gabriel and Eze? Eze. Yeah, Knicks are in the finals, but the game hasn't happened. Chi! We're getting there, Chi. We're getting there. I've got a list. Chi, don't worry. I've got a list. All right. I'm just going through my list. All right. Eze penalty, I've done. Gab penalty, I've done. Noni penalty shout. All right. So let me get to this. Let me get to the Mosquera situation, right? So you see, whenever there's discourse, DC, before I even get there, you see right now, DC, Knicks and Arsenal summer. I'm a Knicks fan, I'm an Arsenal fan. So you must know I'm loving it right now. Knicks in the NBA finals, Arsenal won the Prem, Champions League final. It's been a great few weeks. May's been good. You know what I mean? Hopefully it ends with Knicks winning, but I digress. You see, whenever there's a big decision to be made for Arteta, right? And that decision is always scrutinized, discussed, analyzed, right? So during the League Cup final, it was, are you going to play Raya? Are you going to bring in your best goalkeeper? Or are you going to stick with Kepa, your cup keeper? Are you going to be ruthless and go with David Raya, who hasn't played any League Cup games so far? Or are you going to stick with Kepa? And this was a big, obviously, talking point before the final. Arteta, to everyone's surprise, sticks with Kepa. And Kepa makes a mistake. And Kepa essentially loses us the game. Right? I'm not saying he lost us the game, but he made a mistake that led to a goal. Right? And that was a big talking point. Fast forward to this final. The big talking point is who's playing right back. I'm telling you, it always comes down to what is the most pivotal decision Arteta has to make. And whatever that decision is, that always plays out as being the reason why things go wrong or right or whatever. So Timber's injured. Is he coming back? Is he fit? Will he be back in time? That whole story. Ben White gets injured. He's out. Now is he going to start Mosquera? Is he going to start this, that on the third? You know, Timber's back now. Timber's fit. Timber trained. Timber travelled. Timber. So it's looking like he might start Timber. Again, all the main talk in regards to team sheet is who's playing right back, right? He picked Mosquera over Timber, right? So he either felt like Timber couldn't start, Timber wasn't ready, Timber couldn't play XYZ minutes. He went with Mosquera. Now Mosquera played well. I'm not even saying Mosquera played badly. He played well, but it was his mistake. It was his foul on Kvaratskhelia that led to the penalty. Right? And obviously now you ask the question, if Jurrien Timber started, does Jurrien Timber give away the penalty? And I think the answer is no. When Timber came on, he played very well. Again, Mosquera played well. Him and Saka double-teamed Kvaratskhelia. He didn't have no joy on that side at all. None of them had any joy. Doué, Dembele, none of them had any joy. Right? But again, sorry guys. The big decision prior to the game was, are we going with Timber or Mosquera? Arteta went with Mosquera, and it cost us the game. You know what I mean? Yes, good point. I'm getting to the ref as well. It's on the notes. I'm getting to the ref. Right? But the point I'm trying to make now is, whenever Arteta has a big decision to make, that decision always comes down to bite us in the butt. It does. I'm telling you now. Injury to Eze aside, if Arteta starts Raya in the League Cup final, we have a way better chance of winning that game. I think the biggest thing about that final is we never had a number 10. And that was probably the biggest thing. But trust me, Raya starts, better chance. Now, this final, I'm telling you now, if he started Timber, we probably win that game. Right? It always comes down to that. Wherever the big talking point is, it always comes down to that all the time. I'm not even saying Arteta was wrong for... I'm not even know if I'm blaming Arteta or blaming Mosquera for the challenge on Kvaratskhelia. I just know that who's going to play right back was a big talking point, and it came down to the right back. Yeah? Came down to the right back. So, who knows? All right. So, the penalty itself, the challenge on Kvaratskhelia, it was a penalty. It was a rash challenge. And, what happened to the lights? And we paid the price. Dembele steps up, makes it 1-1. Before that happened, I was thinking, you know what, we're just going to defend. It's going to be 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'm even struggling to remember if we had any more chances. Also, I feel like we played poorly as a whole. Defensively, we played great. But I think as a whole, we didn't play well. We had 27% possession. Right? I'm sure you guys know that, right? I think we played poor. That's actually here on my list. We played poor, low possession. The ref. Now, the ref gave Mosquera a yellow card for time wasting on a throw-in. But was that second half or first half? I don't remember. But for me, when the ref never let us take our corner just before he blew for half time, that was the beginning of his shenanigans. Because once the second half started, the ref was just... It was corruption. Like, the ref was on it. The ref was on one. Like, the ref was on one. Like, no, like, the fouls weren't going our way. My mind's even getting blank to the things he was doing. I just know he was pissing me off. Pissing us off. Like, the ref was actually on one. Like, he was actually on one. Like, to me, it's just like, this is corruption. He's being paid off. This is, like, bias to PSG. It just seemed like he wasn't getting any decisions. He wasn't getting any decisions at all. What remind me what I put in quotations marks? Remind me what I put in quotation marks? I can't remember. Cobbler. Guys, I want to see some more likes, please, man. I know there's more of you. I know there's more than 5 of you in here. Yeah, I need some more likes, please. There's more than 5 of you in here, please. Yeah, the ref. I think the ref. Just to summarize, the ref was a disgrace. Right, the ref was a disgrace. Right. Arteta's subs. I'm not sure if I was a fan of the subs, you know. Let me even try to take my mind back to what the subs were. The first sub was it Mosquera and Odegaard off, and then Timber and Gyökeres, right? If I'm not mistaken. I didn't really like the Odegaard for Gyökeres, and then obviously bring Kai in at 10 and then Gyökeres up front. I didn't like that. And then he brought on Noni and Martinelli. I didn't like that. Like, Noni for Saka. Saka wasn't playing well. But I would have brought on Eze, man. Not Martinelli. Because at one point, that means at that point you had Gyökeres, Noni, and Martinelli. and Havertz as a 10. Then he bought off Lewis Skelly for Zubimendi and someone else for Eze. I can't remember what it was, man. My mind's gone blank, but I didn't like his subs. I wasn't feeling the way he made his subs at all. When at one point when it was Gyökeres, Noni, Martinelli, and Havertz, I was like, this is the worst attack I've ever seen. Exaggerating, of course. He was never taking Kai off. I'm not even saying take Kai off. I just didn't like. No, it is. I feel like I didn't like the double Martinelli and Noni sub. I was like, this is a Champions League final. Where's Eze? Why are you not bringing in Eze? Why didn't Eze even start? I'm sorry. For me, I'm starting. This is a cup final. I know Gyökeres. I know Trossard's on good form. He's clutch. Scores big goals in big moments. I understand that. And I know Eze hasn't played left much recently or at all, really. But just because it's a final, I would have started him on the left. The ref, the ref was dying to give. I was surprised someone didn't get a red, to be fair. I was convinced that someone was going to get a red. Absolutely convinced. Chi, you're right. In terms of the defending, Eze wouldn't really help with that. But still, man. Still. I'm trying to remember what other chances we had in that game, man. Besides, no! You guys remember this. Remember Gyökeres' shot when he got the ball, he ran to the side a bit, beat about two men. Didn't beat them per se, but he just ran past them and he banged it, and the defender got the leg in. See that goal? When you look at the replay and the camera shows the flight of the ball, that ball was going in. That was going in, but it got blocked. That was going all the way in. But my mind's gone blank. What other chances did we have besides Gyökeres' shot, Havertz's second opportunity? Did we create anything else? I don't remember. I'm even struggling to remember. PSG hit the bar twice, right? If I'm not mistaken. My mind's gone blank. But we defended well though. Like in terms of like Arteta's game plan, it worked. It worked wonders. Let me read some of what you guys are saying. Saka had a chance, but the touch was so poor. Yeah, Saka had a chance. I don't remember when his chance was though, but I do remember he had a chance. Trying to blame the ref for this loss. Nah, the thing is, it's not even the ref's fault. Havertz and Gyökeres were the only clear chances. Yeah, you're right. I don't even blame the ref. I blame Eze. No, I'm playing. No, I do blame. No, I don't. Who to blame? It's hard to blame anyone. You see, when it comes to penalties, it's hard to say you're the reason why we lost. We lost because of a multitude of reasons, isn't it? We lost because two of our players missed penalties. We lost because, Havertz didn't take his second chance. We lost because Arteta didn't pick Timber rather than Mascara. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many different reasons and so many different things that could have went differently. That could have. David Raya dives early on everything, man. I'm even surprised he even flipping saved that penalty. But no, the ref was a massive reason though. The ref was a huge reason. But I don't even know if this guy is a TDA listener, but during the watch along, this is the first time I ever experienced this in my life. So during the watch along, I'm not sure. DC can talk to this because he was there. Bare people started praying. And when I say praying, I don't mean like blase praying. Shout out to my fellow Muslim brothers. But one brother came to sit next to me at the front and he was doing full du'as. Like he was praying. I was like, you see me, like obviously I love football and I'll hope, I'll wish. But see, to actually pray to Allah about football, I was like, rah. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, rah. No, I can't actually pray to Allah about football. You know, that makes sense? I can't actually say Bismillah and then start praying actually to Allah about football. I couldn't do it. But that brother, he was going. I was doing Ameen. I didn't even hear what he was saying. I was saying Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. No, but at one point, I was like this. I just looked at him and I was just saying Ameen. Whatever he was saying, just Ameen, Ameen. But just to see it live and to see someone praying, like actually praying, not just like, come on God, let us win this game. No, he was actually doing full prayers. I was like, you know what? This is it. Shout out to that brother though. Whose brother was it? Look at this guy. Hands don't brother. Also, I wanna quickly address before I get back to the game. Also, guys, if you wanna say anything, you wanna make a point, anything you wanna get off your chest. Whoops. 0203 8787870. Call in. You see the discourse around, you know, the hate watches, rival fans, how Arsenal are hated, and everyone wanting us to lose and stuff. I said this before, but I'll say it again. I'm truly disgusted by the treatment Arsenal have been getting. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about regular fan rivalry. Like, I hate Man United, so let Man United fans hate Arsenal. It's fine. You can hate who you want to hate, right? But, yo. Oh, is there? Yo, talk to me.
Hey, Yusuff, is Chijuka.
Oh, what's going on, bro? Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Let me just get this quick run off.
Worries,
yeah, hold tight. Right, so there's levels to hate, right? And again, I hate who I hate, so cool. But when I see United fans online hating Arsenal, reposting everything negative about Arsenal, and I see the same or know that the same fans are at the parade, I've lost all respect for you. I can't take you seriously as a human being. We cannot discuss football ever again. And I actually know someone who done this. I know someone who is a United fan, hates Arsenal, right? Wanted Arsenal to lose the final. Didn't want us to win the league, but was at the parade. Excuse me? Have you gone mad? Have you lost your mind? I told him, I said, this is pathetic. You are a loser, bruv. Like, what? Do you think I'll ever fix my legs to walk out my house to go to a rival team's parade? And he probably thinks it's not that deep. It's deep to me. It just tells me about your character and who you are as a person. Like, that is what? That's insane. Gin and Jess, you're laughing. You know you're laughing because you probably don't. It's not that deep for you. I know. Yeah. To me, this is life. This is life and death, baby. You can't be getting to an Arsenal parade and you're a Man United fan. Don't you have any shame? Like, don't you have any shame? Like, on a base level, like, don't you have any shame? Like, aren't you embarrassed? And also, why do you want to go anyway? Like, why do you want to go to an Arsenal parade? Don't understand. But anyway, talk to me, bro. What are you saying?
Yeah, no, I'm good. To be fair, I did want to say because Brent brought it up during the TDA episode early in the week
Yeah.
that I wasn't there, so I just want to apologize. But ticket last minute to watch it in the Emirates.
Oh, you went to the Emirates?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. How was it?
It was good. No, the atmosphere was good.
Yeah.
Obviously at the end it was quiet, but I think the people I was with, they were like, I said to them, look, it doesn't change the fact that we won the league.
Bro, allow me, man. Allow me.
No, but that's how I felt.
No, I'm not telling you. I'm not saying that's not how you felt. I'm saying allow me. I'm pushing back. I'm happy. Like, you can feel how you want to feel. I'm just pushing back on that because I'm like, I don't want anyone to feel that way. But that's your prerogative. But go on, carry on.
No, okay. So what I would say to people that are upset with it is, before the game started, did you think we had enough to beat PSG?
Yes. I'm not sure when you joined.
Generally,
I'm not sure when you joined the live and call this blind faith or blind hope. But I was convinced we were going to win that game. I just had a feeling we were going to win, and we came
I thought
close.
we would give a good account of ourselves,
You know
but I
what?
still thought it was going to be a very tough game.
I'm not going to lie, and I might be the only person who feels this way, but I think everyone overrates PSG. Like, I was talking to a PSG fan prior, and he was talking to me like he was about to go and play Stoke City. I said to him, you know, this is Arsenal, right? Like, you're talking to me like as if to say you're playing some League One team. Like, I said, what do you think the score's going to be? He said 3-0.
Yeah, no, I didn't think
Ask my other boy what the score is going to be. He said 3-1. I said,
yeah, no,
excuse me? Like,
people. This is the thing. People don't rate the way we play because they think, oh, anyone can be defensive. I'm like, no, no, no. Anyone can't. They can't defend like we've defended this season. If they did, then when Liverpool went with a back five and still got slapped 2-0, and it looked comfortably like it could have been four, then everyone would be able to do it, but they can't. I think the only issue I had was I think we gave them a bit too much respect.
100%.
I think we could have pressed them a bit more, but I also think that the way they pressed also was something that Arteta was looking at because they were on us quickly. Like Neves, I know Vitinha was the one that everyone was looking at, but Neves was the one that wasn't letting anyone rest on the ball at all. You had to be quick with your passes, and I know Miles got a lot of credit for getting the ball back, but he actually was on the ball for too long doing nothing, and that's how Due got in.
Mm.
So he had to get back because it was him that made the mistake. And I feel like a lot of that was going on. Even Saka was getting like nearly double, triple teamed in terms of the way they were going at him. Players were on that side, making sure he wasn't going to ruin the game for them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Um, I think both teams played very well defensively. I don't think neither done much in attack. And obviously, hence why it was, the scoreline was what it was in normal time. Um, but this notion that, PSG are way better than us and it was going to be such a hard game. And I think it was a hard game because we didn't play. Like, we didn't really play it. We didn't really play. I don't know what our game is anymore, but whatever our game is, we didn't really play it. I don't feel like PSG are that better than Arsenal. I'm sorry. Like, I know their front three is way better than ours, 100%. But in my opinion, we have a better defense. I think we have the best defense in the world, right? I think we're the best goalkeeper in
I
the
hear
world
you.
right now. And their midfield is better than ours, but I don't think it's that better than ours. So
That's still crucial, though.
it's
I
crucial.
think if when you've got a really good midfield,
Yeah.
it really helps you, especially in these kind of games.
Yeah, no, I agree. And they're like, if I was doing it ratio wise, I'll give them 60-40 in regards to like who's better in midfield, right? But I always have this, on our day mentality where anything can happen on our day or on the day, right? So, you know, I'm not going to the game thinking to myself, oh, PSG are their their midfield is that much better that on our day we can't rise to the occasion and do something. And again, we all talk about things in hindsight. If Havertz scores that second opportunity and it's 2-0, then what's everyone saying then? Right? People only talk,
I
you know what I mean? Like, what then? Then
Yeah,
it's
no, I
then
hear
it's
you.
then it's like raw. Everyone thought we weren't gonna score or they were gonna just batter us, but we're up 2-0. And that's what I'm saying. In the final, anything can happen. Even for example, Havertz's goal. I'm sure no one expects us to score that early. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
No one. No
I
one
don't
thought.
know if you discussed it already, but I mean, in the stadium,
Mm.
I thought it was going to be disallowed because as soon as I saw the hand, I was like, I didn't think that was going to be allowed at all, but they were going to call it back and say,
Okay, I'm not sure I even noticed an offside call or offside shot for that goal.
No, so the Trossard, because when it comes off Trossard, it comes clearly off his arm,
Oh
and
yes.
I
Okay. Okay.
thought
Okay.
they're gonna,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
before Havertz goes in and goes and scores the goal.
Okay. Actually, that's a good segue to something I haven't spoke about yet. The Saka multiple handballs when it ricocheted off his both of his arms, hands. Was that for
I mean,
you?
they gave it against
In your opinion, should that have been
Bayern.
a and that was in our box, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. For you, was that a penalty shot?
I don't think it's the penalty, but they've given a similar kind of penalty, and that's the problem when you see those kind of silly decisions in other games,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, when people talk about consistency, I guess that's what they're talking about.
Yeah. No, 100%, 100%. And then obviously the biggest penalty call of the day, Mendes on Madueke. I know you're super like fair, so I wanna ask you because I know you're super like I think you'll say
So
if it was or wasn't even as an Arsenal fan. So
yeah,
for
no.
you, was it a penalty?
So in the stadium, all screaming for it. We were all screaming for it. We couldn't believe it. But after seeing it, I think the I think I think my issue is you can obviously see him locking the arm and initiating the contact
Yeah.
and then going over. And if that's what the ref has seen, fair enough. But I don't know how, from what his angle, he could have seen that and said no penalty. Because the only thing I think he could have seen is the tangle and then him literally putting Madueke to the floor. And if that's the case, then I don't know how he could have said it's a coming together. I, it's one of those where if you don't give it, I don't know if VAR can really intervene because of what they've seen. But I'm just surprised he didn't give it on the field.
He didn't give it because it was Arsenal. I'm telling you, if
I
that
hear you.
happened at the other end, that would have been a straight penalty to PSG. To me, that showed where his bias was on display. I understand the way I remember it in my head was that Noni ran around Mendes, so he was slightly ahead of him, and then their arms tangled. I never even realized, who initiated contact initially, right? But either way, Noni tumbles down, but Mendes is behind him. So if you fall down and the defender's behind you, then it's like, okay, cool. Or you pushed in the back, or you shoved down.
Yeah, but I think when you see he's locked his right arm to go to basically bring him down on him.
Yeah,
So it's sort of like that's what VAR must have seen and said, well, we can't really show him that because then he'll say, well, it's a coming together. It's not the same as it's clumsy. Like I still feel that Mendes didn't really need to do what he did to get to that point.
yeah.
But I still think because of that, that's what they would have probably seen to not make him see it. Like, I get why everyone is upset that it wasn't given, and I'm not saying that I wasn't either, but I think that's why VAR didn't step in. It was annoying at the time,
No, it
but
was mad
that
annoying.
that's what they've gone for. And there's not really much we can say now.
The whole time, I thought they were checking it, but they
So did
weren't.
I.
I thought they were checking it, and I thought it was going to be given. I was literally convinced that they're checking it behind the scenes, and it's going to be given as a penny. When it wasn't, I was like, for flip's sake. But you know what it is? If we didn't feel like the ref wasn't on our side, right? I feel like we'll be able to feel a bit more at ease with that decision. But because we felt like the ref was against us and he didn't give us that, you know what I'm trying to say? That's what it was. It was just adding fuel to the ref is against us because he would have given that to
So
PSG. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I feel like something was said to the ref because there must have been this whole Arsenal are going to time waste because they're 1-0 up. Because I'm still trying to figure out how he said you took too long to take that corner. Because when the corner was um, given to the time Saka gets to the ball.
Yeah.
What was about max 6 seconds, and he was like, "Nah, it took you too long, too long." I just thought I've never seen that. So I think that was part of where he changed the way we kind of went into the game because I think he said we're not going to have this whole slowing down and everything. And the booking to Mascara, I think, also affects the way he defends for the penalty, even though people are obviously complained that he didn't get the second yellow.
Yeah. I was hoping that Arteta just took Mascara off. I thought because in a game like this, especially against an attacker like Gabriel, I was like, I wasn't even thinking about pens. I was thinking about him getting a second yellow. I'm thinking, yeah,
I think there was a conversation he must have had with Timber
I'm like,
because remember,
yeah,
I think a couple of weeks ago we spoke about it and I said, Timber's probably out for the season. But obviously, the magnitude of this game, they said, there's no Ben White, Tim, but you need to play some minutes. And I think there must have been discussions saying, I will play 30 minutes max, which is why I think the substitution happened at the time. Obviously, it would have been better if it happened before the penalty was awarded, but that was roughly the time that he was going to come on.
yeah, I hear it. I just hate that it always comes down to, Arteta's big decision, and that decision always comes to bite us in the back, or bite us in the butt, as it says. All right, let me ask you a question. You did say earlier that winning the league makes up for the fact that we didn't win the Champions League, right?
Mm.
So taking the season into just holistically, right? 2 cup final losses,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't great, right? Like,
No,
can
not the
we
best,
can we
but yeah.
agree that losing 2 cup finals isn't great, right? But you've won the league after 22 years, so all is forgiven, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, in isolation, how big is this Champions League loss to you? 10 being a bit, because for me it's a 10. People might say you're overreacting. For me it's a 10.
I think without the league, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think because of the league, because of the fact that, and I think I said this to someone else. I'm like, you can't you can't really disagree with someone that's won a league title because it's over 30 games. So you had to accumulate the most points over everyone else in your league to finish top. We've seen teams win the Champions League that weren't the best team in Europe, and people would agree that they weren't the best team in Europe. So I feel to put so much onus on the Champions League is almost to discredit how some other teams have won and have made and that's made their season. The Champions League for me didn't make our season because we were already league title winners. That's the reason why I wholeheartedly put it as a bonus. Obviously, it would have been amazing because we've never done it before. It's something that the club hasn't done. But I don't think you can then put it as a 10 when the league was. I think if you ask most people would have said if you had a choice between Champions League and the league, which one would you take? I think most people said
Yeah, but I don't know. You see this mentality, right? It's like you're not looking at things in isolation. You're just asking yourself, which trophy is more important? Which one would you have wanted to win most if you had to pick, right? But the reality is, we could have won both of them, right?
I hear you.
And also, I feel like I'm really homing in on Arsenal's European record, and that's bugging me. It's not bugging everyone else. It's bugging me. It's bugging me that we keep losing European finals, and it's bugging me, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like,
So
we
is your
we lost.
is your gripe that
Yeah.
we've lost it and you don't think we're gonna get back there again, or is your gripe more this season should have been better based on the way the season was going earlier on?
No, my gripe is we've lost another Champions League final after a 20-year wait. That's one.
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So remember, the pain of 2006 is still within me, right? To
I
get
hear
back to
you.
the
It's
final,
there for me too.
no, listen, brother, we're together. To get to the
But
final and to get so close and to lose again. Remember, this is not about me blaming them for losing. It's about how I feel that we lost. So it's not like, this team is crap. They can't win the Champions League. No, it's, we lost again. Damn. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm upset that we lost again. I'm upset that we've lost another European final.
but
Like,
you know
like
what I would
in
say to that
isolation.
though.
Another one, bro. Why can't this team win
No,
in Europe?
I hear you. But you know what I would say to that. I feel differently to how I felt when we lost in 2006. And the only reason why I say that is because it felt like a team that was at the end.
All right,
This is
I'm gonna interject because I said the same thing earlier. You definitely wasn't on the live then. So
yeah.
what I said was the reason why 2006 was so hard for me to take because I felt like that was our one opportunity to win the Champions League and that was it. I thought like this team, this is their one shot to win it and they didn't win it, and obviously it proved to be right because we didn't get back there for 20 years, right? This loss
Okay.
on Saturday it's easier to take than 2006 because I feel like this team will get back to the final quickly. I feel like we might win it next year or the year after. I feel like we probably win it in the next 3 years. So I'm not
So why is this still a 10 for you then?
because I'm very good at looking at things in isolation. And one, I'm still hurting, bro. It's a 10. It's a 10 today. It might not be a 10. I told someone the other day, right? You see when I'm hurting, stop trying to get me out of my funk. Let me go through my emotions. I'll get there. To where you want me to be, I'll get there. I need a few days. And I don't even want to be happy right now. Like, you see the morning of the parade. It's like, you're getting to the parade, you got to be happy. I don't want to be happy. I'm happy being sad. Because that's my process. Let me,
Wait, did you go then?
what's that?
Did you go?
Yeah, I went.
But you went there sad.
Yes. I went there sad. But I'm happy to
That's
be there
mad,
sad.
Yusuff.
No, not sad
That's
like,
mad.
no, not sad like I'm not, being festive. I'm still there, cool, but am I an alien, bruv? This is normal human being behavior, fam. We lost. I even feel like it's fucking weird to have a fucking parade the day after Champions League final loss. I'm even thinking about the players, like, how do the players feel? Because their emotions are so
No,
up and down. Like, how the hell do you pick
I hear
yourself
you.
up from a final you just lost, and now you got to go on the bus and do up parade? I'm
And
like,
then go World Cup in a couple of days.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's mad. Like I was even. Who does a clip of Gabriel at the start of the parade before they were on the bus where I think a fan caught him and you could tell from his face that he wasn't.
He was
You know
sad.
what I mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't really happy. But it's like to be a professional footballer, right? You've really got to suck it up in it and just put on the front because man just missed a penalty less than 24 hours ago and now he's on the bus celebrating a trophy you've already celebrated anyway. And also I feel like this might sound negative, but I don't want to see any more Arsenal content about this trophy. Like, it's enough.
No, you know what? No,
It's enough. No more
I hear
content.
you.
I'm
No, I
tired.
hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But but what I would say to that is that it's almost like I don't want to talk about other teams, but I feel like I'm gonna have to use it as an example.
Yeah,
You know, like when United were constantly winning the league,
yeah,
and it just felt like they were taking it for granted.
yeah,
I feel like when you do that, that's what you're doing, and I don't want it to feel like that. Like, say we do back to back and win the league next season, I will
yeah.
feel exactly the same way as I did this season, and I'll still celebrate it as a massive achievement.
No, but it is
And I
massive.
think,
It's a huge achievement. And don't get me wrong. I think don't let my frustration about the Champions League negate the fact that I am super, super elated that we won the league. Remember, you lot are spoiled because you lot have celebrated this thing like 8 times. Remember, you lot celebrated on Tuesday after the Bournemouth game, celebrated on Saturday or Sunday after the Palace game, then the parade. So by the parade, we had already been celebrating for a week anyway, right? So take that into account, right? So remember, there's Champions League final celebrations where I was on top of the world. No one could tell me nothing, right? But that final was pending. That final was in the back of my mind the whole entire time. But prior to the final, yeah, I was super. If the parade happened before the final, tits up. You know what I'm trying to say, right? But then, even if there was no final, wait, one more thing. Even if there was no final, I'm just talking about myself. We celebrated all week. By the final, by the parade anyway, my enthusiasm would have dipped anyway. Like, because we already celebrated. We already won the league last week. So people who were at the parade celebrating with the same energy and enthusiasm as if to say we never had a couple other days of partying, all kudos to them. I don't have that kind of energy, right? But if you introduce a Champions League final loss in between celebrations, how can that not affect my mood? Remember, I've already celebrated the league title already. Now I've moved on to this big ears that I've always wanted Arsenal to get. On the way to the parade, these little youths were like, "Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that." I said, we're still going to hear that song. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Europe. I'm focused right now on why are Arsenal so bad in Europe? And I know that's not the narrative, but it is, right? We've lost another European final. Like, other teams are collecting trophies. Like, you ain't... Bro, let's win that trophy, man. Like, I know...
You can't say we're bad.
We are bad. What are you talking about? We are bad in Europe. In the finals.
We've just gone through the season.
Yeah, I'm not talking about this season. I'm talking about through history. Arsenal's history. Not this season. We were great. This season we didn't even lose a game in regular time. So yes, we've had an impeccable Champions League season, and also I'll give them credit for the whole. We only been in the Champions League back for 3 years. First year quarterfinals, second year semi-finals. Third year finals, hopefully fourth year is final and win, right? Same thing happened with the league, right? So I'm not giving this current team stick because they've done great. And as this iteration of this team have not done terrible in Europe. They've done great in Europe. So I'm not talking about this team, this current team. I'm talking about Arsenal's complete history in Europe.
So then I implore you to just look at it as this iteration of a team, as opposed to the club. Because if you're going to look at it as the club, you're going to dwell too much on the final for 20 years ago. You're going to look at this final loss as, we can't get over the line.
Who's this? Who's this, sorry?
So Miraculous Miriam.
Oh, I think the voice has changed. Sorry, go on.
Still there.
All right, go on.
I said don't look at it as anything more than, I'm not going to say a free hit, but I have a question to you.
Yeah, go on.
If we got thrashed, how would your mood have been affected?
My mood would have been, I'm not sure if even worse. If we got thrashed, you know what? I actually have this rule, right? If my team could have won and lost, marginally or lost with great effort, and it's like, we could have won this game, I think I feel worse. If we got thrashed and we were never really in it, I can't really get upset because we weren't good enough, right? So if we got battered, it's like, we got battered. We weren't good enough to beat PSG. It is what it is. We go again. But see, when you're close to winning something, like you can touch it, those type of losses piss me off more than getting thrashed. Because when you get thrashed, I'm cussing the team. This team is useless, bro. You guys got smashed by PSG. Like, fix up. So my energy is different. My energy is like cussing the team out. Like, you man are rubbish. You got battered by PSG. Da, da, da. But when you almost win, it's kind of heartbreaking, no?
Heartbreaking is not the word that I would use. I tend to look at this result as disappointing. However, just like probably the face of Declan Rice could show, this team's getting back there again.
Let's
it's
talk.
Not the end.
Let's talk about that Declan Rice face for a second.
Go for it.
Was that for you? Was that performative or was that genuine?
No, I think it's genuine.
You
In
think?
the same way that
Go on.
when he did it against Bournemouth,
That's different
and he
though.
was like, "It's not done.
That's different
It's
though.
not done."
Against Bournemouth, he was literally saying to one of his teammates who might have been showing or displaying body language or said something negative to where he's like, "Oh, the guy, it's not done. It's not done." So, but that to smile in that way, in that mischievous, grinning way, like no one does that, man.
But you could read.
No one does that. No one
Do you think
loses.
he's doing too much? Then?
No one loses a cup final when you start grinning like, "Don't worry, we'll be back." Who does that,
Yeah, but
man?
his facial expression could be read as, "You know what? We can do this again."
Yeah, no, man,
Exactly.
no. I'm not saying he doesn't believe that. Like, but let's be honest. When you've gone through the season like we've gone through in the Champions League, we haven't lost any games, right?
Mm.
And then you lose a final. Your first thought isn't to smile to say, "You know what? We'll be back anyway." I just don't believe that's the first innate human reaction, right? But because you're a professional footballer, there's cameras everywhere. You've already been clipped up. So let's not act like these people aren't aware that cameras are on them. He's aware. He's just gone through a whole scenario with his whole "it ain't done yet" thing. So maybe he was trying to create another moment for himself. And I feel like it was.
Oh, this is scandalous reaching.
You think I'm reaching? Bro,
This is
come on,
to
man.
paint Declan Rice as this player who's looking for performative mob and clips just because.
Do you think that's far fetched? Don't be naive. I'm not saying that 100%.
I'm not being naive.
No, no. Hear me out for 2 seconds, right? It's 1,000% plausible. Remember, these guys are young, by the way. These are men in their 20s, bro. They're young guys, right? So let's put that into perspective. It's highly plausible that footballers who know they are on camera, right, and want to expand, cement, and create a brand for themselves and have moments for their notoriety, it's highly plausible they'll do things for the camera. Like, to think otherwise is silly to me. I'm not saying he 100% done that for the camera, but there is a world where he did, and it's not that shocking that if he did do it for the camera.
Now, I'm going to preface this by saying, you and I both don't know Declan Rice.
100%.
Personally, we don't know. We don't know at all. However, my question to you is, despite the fact that we don't know who he is, from what you have seen of him,
Yeah.
in terms of in the media, how he's presented, when he's interviewed pre-match, post-match, do you think he has the personality of a player who would do this kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, your whole setup, I was dying of laughter in my mind because I'm like, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it didn't land the way you thought.
I'm thinking, who doesn't think that?
I don't believe Declan Rice.
Of course, Declan Rice seems that way. Of course, he does.
Yeah, no, he does.
Of course, he does.
Wants to be captain so
Have
bad.
you seen
He
Declan
just-
Rice in the
yeah,
media? He is definitely
He
that
wants
type of
to
person who
captain
you would
so
think would do
bad.
that.
I don't know, man. Declan Rice comes across to me as one of those model players, confident in how he speaks, always optimistic.
My friend, listen.
Good.
You are
Good on
looking.
camera.
You know what it is. You are looking at the things on a very surface level. I
Man,
think.
that's stuff I can do, really.
Yeah, but I've got the unagi though. That's the thing. Like I analyze human behavior, and trust me, Declan Rice is definitely the type of person who would do something for the camera. Again, someone made a point that we're overanalyzing this, and we are. And either way, I don't care because he's my player anyway. And if that look says, "Don't worry, we'll be back here again," then thumbs up. Let's get back here and win it. But if we're just
So can I ask a question based
go on.
on that then?
yeah.
So obviously, if we want to go at there, what would you say the team needs, and who would you want us to get to help improve that team? to hopefully get us over the line.
All right. Do you want my dream scenario or realistic scenario?
Both.
So my dream scenario would be Kvaratskhelia on the left. Striker wise, this is mainly based on just availability. I'm not going to say something stupid like, Mbappe. Alvarez. In midfield, I don't really have any preferences. Everyone we're linked with, I'm kind of cool with whoever they bring in, whether it be Talani. Is it Talani? I'd say his name. Talani.
Yeah.
When I hear the links to the young players, I'm less infused. Is it Ayub from Lille, the 18-year-old? I'm not sure I'm saying
He's good.
No, he's good, but I'm not infused by his age. I'm still looking at him.
We can't do that. Neves came to PSG.
I know. I'm
18,
just saying. This is just me being, I guess, like, it's like a preference thing. I'm not saying I wouldn't take him, but you see, when you're talking about like win now, it's the same way, or the whole Sesko and Gyökeres debate. Oh, if you get Sesko, he's not ready now because he's young, but Gyökeres is more ready. I think it's that kind of age bias. But
so if you go back, you would still get Gyökeres.
No, I'll get Sesko. I think Sesko.
So you see what I mean?
I think, yeah, but I didn't. Okay, cool. You're making a good point, but I didn't buy into the Sesko's too young narrative. I didn't think he was too young because he was in his 20s. But the Ayub guy, he's 18, 19. Either way, he's a baller. Don't get me wrong, he's a baller. And if you add him to what we already have, then I guess it's, we already have age around him anyway. So if you bring him in and you've still got Zubi, you've still got Marino, you've still got Rice, then it wouldn't matter that he's young because he's young amongst, older. So, and then defense-wise, Livramento's cool if we need a right back.
We'll definitely need one, I think.
What's that?
I think we will need one.
Yeah.
I think Ben White's probably one.
Yeah. And then realistic scenario. Well, before I even get there, let me ask you a question. Morgan Rogers. We've been or are strongly linked with Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. The number I'm hearing is 80 million. One, do you feel like it could be more? You're right. Do we feel like Morgan Rogers is the player we need? If that's a yes, where do you think he fits in our team?
I think he's, for me, an immediate upgrade on anyone we've got on the left. And I think he's proven that he can play successfully on the left in the Premier League. Now, whether that's the level that would take us over in that kind of game in the Champions League final is something that I'm not sure of. But I definitely feel if he was an option for us, I'd feel much better than seeing Trossard or Martinelli, even though Martinelli has the numbers in the Champions League.
So would you take Rogers as a left-sided player over an out-and-out pacey winger? Or is it... Sorry, there's just one more part.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I think the winger market right now, it's not great. If we're assuming Brothers not going to be leaving PSG, which I think won't happen.
No, it's Barcola's the one we're linked with from PSG.
I don't see. I feel like Barcola has everything but end product, and that's tough to watch.
Yeah,
because it's like even against us, like that chance he had, he just dithered on it. He probably should have scored it, and we probably should have lost that before the penalty.
Yeah.
And I just feel like he's not. I feel he will do everything we want him to do, apart from putting the ball in the back of the net. I feel like he's got all the materials that you want in a winger, but I just don't know if he's going to be decisive enough. And I think we've got enough of those problems with Martinelli at times. I don't think we want to spend money to do that again. even though I think he's better.
All right, so
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
yeah, go on.
Who's better, Bacola or Walcott?
Barcola
Why are
or
we doing
Walcott?
this?
Because I won't lie to you, he just reminds me of Jean-Pierre Walcott.
Barcola or
Nah.
Walcott? I think
No.
Walcott
No.
is definitely the better finisher than out of the two. Barcola's more tricky. Like Walcott was just a straight runner. Like you play the ball onto him,
He's
you
a
run into the ball and
sprinter that
score.
could finish.
Yeah, but let me say this: you brought up Walcott, but Walcott is one of the most underrated finishers Arsenal have ever had. Like some of his goals from them acute angles, chef's kiss. Trust me, Walcott was a baller when it came to finishing. But as a total footballer, I'll give it to Barcola because he's just better all around. And obviously, people put together compilations of all Barcola's misses, but there's also compilations of all his goals, and some of his goals are bad. So, yeah, he's not the finished product. Yeah, he seems a bit rash. Yeah, end product isn't great. He's not my first choice, and he does seem like another Madueke / Martinelli type of player. So I'm not team Barcola, but like you just said, the winger market's not that great. But I wanted to ask both of you, to be fair. So in terms of our left wing issue, right? So if we're saying let's just say Rodgers is like a Trossard upgrade, right? So do you feel like we need to get rid of both Martinelli and Trossard, right? Then bring in replacements for both of them. So let's just say Trossard, Martinelli out, Barcola, Rodgers in, or is it a Rodgers in, keep Martinelli, Trossard goes, right? Like what for you guys? What's the combo here? Is it 2 out, 2 in, 1 out, 1 in?
I
For
think
me,
it's 1 out, 1 in.
And which one goes out and which one stays?
For me,
Yeah.
I think you get more money for Martinelli, so it's probably Martinelli goes first.
All right. So would you be happy next season? Your left side options are Rodgers and Martinelli, and obviously you've got the whole Eze could play there too. But in terms of like who is penciled as the left wing options, are you happy with Martinelli?
What, Rodgers and Trossard, you mean?
No, didn't you just say you're gonna sell?
I said Martinelli goes first
Oh, you said Martinelli goes
because
first.
I think we'll get more money. Yeah, I think we'll get more money for him. I think if we're
Oh,
looking
okay.
to sell,
Sorry.
yeah.
So you happy with Rodgers and Trossard?
I think I'll be all right with that personally.
Absolutely no pace.
I'm not.
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
think
not
Rodgers has no pace though.
No, but you know what I mean by no pace. As in,
I know what you mean.
like he ain't got no blistering pace. Like he ain't gonna play the ball through to him and he's gonna just, you know what I mean, 100 miles an hour onto it. Like he needs the ball at his feet.
But I've seen him run with balls into the channel and do something with it. I've seen him do that because Villa do hit teams on the break, and he's part of that. So I think we can still sort of do that for obviously not to the same extent, but I still feel these will drop deep against us because that's what they've been doing. I don't think we're going to see the sort of spaces unless you're looking at the European games that you'll see in the Premier League. It just won't happen.
All right. And
my opinion is
you're gone.
Martinelli.
What's that?
Keep Martinelli. You sell Trossard.
Bringing who?
Rodgers.
So both of you want.
One in,
So
one out.
I'm not gonna lie. Both of you want Trossard and Rodgers as your left side options next season.
No. I want Martinelli.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused. You want
And
Martinelli? You're gonna sell Trossard?
Yeah.
All right.
Because Martinelli offers something
Different than
that
what
Rodgers can't.
Rodgers could offer. Okay.
Rodgers basically is a faster upgrade of Trossard. He's taller, he's stronger,
Yeah.
a bit
I
quicker.
don't think the money will make sense. That's the only problem.
I think we're fine for money. A final and a Premier League title. I think
Yeah,
we
but
can
they're
afford to
staying
sell Trossard.
for the amount of players that we're looking at. We definitely need to sell, and we need to make it like a decent sell somewhere. Like
I think,
it's very faint interest, but I'm hearing this talking about apparently buying or looking at Martinelli, and I thought that's interesting because I didn't
I'll sell both of
think
them.
that. I thought that door was closed.
I would sell both of them. I would happily sell both of Martinelli and Trossard because I believe both of them are easily upgraded. Like they're even though Trossard's been great for us, bro.
Easy's rough though.
No, but there is a better player than Trossard, and there is a better player than Martinelli. Like,
I'm not
Would you
saying
get a
you're wrong.
cheap option?
no. I don't think we need to go cheap either. Like, we can bring in Rodgers, and we
Okay.
can bring in even. I'm not saying he's the answer, but even the Monga kid that
The
we're
16-year-old.
looking at. No, I'm not
The
saying
16-year-old.
I'm not saying he's gonna be the marquee left wing signing. I'm just saying
Okay.
if you, for example, this is just a hypothetical. You
Okay.
sold Martinelli and Trossard.
Yeah.
You brought in Rodgers.
Okay.
You bring in Monga. Left
Okay.
side. Then you're looking at Eze. You're looking at Rodgers. You're looking at
I don't want Eze on the
Monga.
left again. I'm not gonna lie to
Everyone's
you.
so down on Eze. Eze, why? Why is Eze on the left now
It's
such
just not-
such a non-factor thing?
I think the way he plays and the way we play wingers, it just would ruin the way we get into the game. I don't think we do enough to bring in the wingers so they can come in centrally anymore. I think it was more of a thing when Arteta first was building this team, but I feel like now he makes them do so much to track back, and it's just not Eze's game, and I don't think it should be.
No, I hear you. I do hear you. And the Monga thing was just I just threw it at the wall. But if I had to pick, like if we were to make two marquee left-sided signings, which I don't think we're going to do, to be fair. I don't think we're going to sell both of them and bring in two. Like you said, who are the left side markets? Kind of like, 'cause obviously Gordon was someone we were linked with, but he's now gone to Barcelona. So is it realistic? Is it realistic to say you can bring in Rodgers and Barcola? Is that realistic? No, I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
Then
I
there's
don't think
then
but that's what I mean. So
yeah.
selling both is.
But then there's a whole Krupi. Borg, I'm
think
gonna bring up
should be-
Wanyeri in a second.
He's our striking option for me.
I'm hearing, yeah, no, definitely. I'm hearing Krupi prefers a move to PSG. Also, as quiet as kept, remember, TK is injured, right? Thingy's just gone to Liverpool. So I'm hearing Liverpool might go and get Krupi, right? And the way Liverpool are moving, and they've just got Areola, I can see that happening. That's his striker, so he could bring him in, right? It'd be easier for him to bring him in.
I
So
feel like it'll be bad from us if we lose out Groupie to Liverpool.
I think it's
I mean,
I think it's highly plausible that we lose him to Liverpool for those two reasons alone, because of TK's injury. Because there's no way if TK was fit, they would sign another striker. That's a suicide. Why would you sign another striker on top of those two you already have? But considering
I think Krupi's got to realise that when Ekatike gets fit, there are 3 strikers in that team.
no, you're right.
That all want to play on number 9.
You're right, and that makes his move there less likely, I guess, if you had to look at a reason why he wouldn't go there. But I did read, and I don't know how true this is, that his first option is PSG. Obviously, he's French as well, so you know what I mean. But if we can get Krupi, the main rumor I've heard is that the two players we're in for the most right now is Krupi and Morgan Rodgers. I have heard rumors of. I saw a small Osimhen rumor yesterday. Who else did I see?
He's Arteta.
Nathaniel Brown, apparently, the left back
Hold on, one at a time.
from I Tech Frankfurt.
Okay. To be fair, I've seen a few. Before we move on, or before we carry on with signings, right? You see, when it comes to outgoings, right? I saw a list of who's up for sale when it's. They would listen to offers for Martinelli, Trossard, and Martinelli, Trossard, Norgard, and Wanyeri. Now, I want to know everyone's thoughts on Wanyeri. Before I give you guys the floor, let me just say my piece quickly. I think Wanyeri is a highly, highly, highly talented footballer. I loved what he done last season coming off the right. This season, for whatever reason, it was discussed that he's not going to be a right-sided option. He's going to play through the middle, right? So therefore, he's battling for game time with Odegaard and with Eze. Went to loan to Marseille. The loan was an absolute shambles, right? You see when we're winning the league, the players are all celebrating in the changing room, and even on Saturday when we collected the trophy against Palace, I was thinking, in the back of my mind, I was thinking to myself, damn, Ethan Nyeri should be here. And I thought that bare. I'm like...
He does get a medal.
I'm like, no, he gets a medal. I'm not saying he doesn't get a medal, but he wasn't a part of... Because I always felt like he shouldn't have been sent on loan. I feel like it was a waste. And it was a waste in hindsight, right? So yeah, with that, he was on the bus though. I think they even asked him, Frimpong asked him, where were you on Tuesday night when, Arsenal won the league? He said he was in bed. And Marcelo Skelly had to call him to say, we won the league. Either way, I kind of feel a way that he's kind of... Obviously, he wasn't at Paris because he was still technically a Marseille player, so he couldn't be there just due to the fact that he wasn't an Arsenal player. He wasn't back being an Arsenal player. But with all that being said...
Haven't their season finished, though?
Yeah, but I think the loan contract day, whatever the technicality was, he wasn't allowed to be there. You know what I mean? Because obviously he would have been there if he was allowed, right? But anyway, with all that being said, the fact that for whatever reason, he's someone that the club is happy to sell, considering how talented he is, considering that fact that we don't, besides Eze, I don't think we have a player like him, right? I'm just struggling, and I see another Gnabry scenario happening with him. I'm struggling to understand why it feels like he's just, after being, he was a child prodigy before Max Dowman. Arteta, he gave him his debut at 15. It seemed like his trajectory was on the up, and then suddenly he's just fallen down. And I'm like, why do Arsenal want to sell him? Or why, and forget obviously PSR and all that stuff, but pure profit, whatever. But just as a pure footballer, as an option on the pitch, as someone who can bring something different to our team, someone who can create, someone who can score, why is it he's no longer an option? Thoughts?
I can tell you why. 2 words.
Go on.
Max Dowman.
Yeah, but Max Dowman is being viewed as a right-sided player, though. And the talk is that
I know, but in your term, in the words you've used, prodigy.
So what? There's no room. There's no room. There's no room for two.
I don't know about better.
No.
Yeah, but hold on, one second. This isn't about which child prodigy should we pick. Like if you've got two. This is what I hate about Arsenal. It's like the whole Fabregas wants to come back to Arsenal, but Wenger told him, oh no, I can't fit you and Ozil into my team. Bro, if you have the chance to have Fabregas and Ozil, have Fabregas and Ozil and figure it out, man. Right?
I don't think you can develop 2 kids.
And I think that's what...
Yes, you can. MLS is there, though. Okay, hold on, one second. Yeah, but MLS is there. So why can't... So if MLS is there and Wanyeri is there... And sorry, not Wanyeri. You're saying you can't develop 2 prodigies. But MLS is a child prodigy too. He's a year older than Wanyeri. No? So why isn't MLS looked upon as a child prodigy?
I mean, before he broke back into the team, they were looking to sell him as well, apparently, which I thought was nuts too.
Yeah, no, bro, I'm telling you, like the whole selling. You see, last season we finished we finished second again, right? But you know what I took away from the season? That those two have come through. That was the shining light to me. We came second again, trophyless. But at least Wanyeri and MLS have broken through, and they're looking like future Arsenal stars, right? And I'm sure a lot of people felt the same way about them. To go from that to what they both became this season is mind blowing. And I understand MLS has had an upsurge in the last few weeks or month, Wanyeri's loan could have gone great, and the convo might have been different, but he just happened to be sent to a dire situation, and that wasn't his fault, of course. That was just by chance that all happened and unfolded in that manner. But either way, the facts are, at the start of the season, neither of them were favoured. Neither of them were starters. Wanyeri wasn't going to be a starter anyway, but MLS was viewed as a starter at left back. As soon as we made all them signings, especially Eze and Noni, I knew Wanyeri's days were numbered. I'm thinking, how is he going to get minutes in this team when you just signed two players who can kind of play where he plays? But I think
I kind of felt that more when Max came and scored that goal against Everton. I knew
nah,
that
I
would
didn't feel that
push
way, you know.
him.
You know why I didn't feel that way. One, because he's older than Max. Two, because Arteta already said that he doesn't view him as a right winger anymore. And I don't know. I'm just not in the school of, it's either Max or Ethan. I'm not in that school for some reason. But
would you say?
I mean,
go on.
No, I was just going to say, would you say that he sees Max as a right wing option? I genuinely feel like he seems like he wants to trust him more in the 10. And the way he plays him, I think he's giving him a little bit more grace in the 10 than he sometimes gave Ethan.
I think he probably sees Max more as a 10. He's played at 10 a few times this season, right?
Yeah, started 10 last game of the season.
Yeah. I don't really see Max as a right winger anyway. I do see him more as a 10.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I see him more as a 10. I actually see Ethan more as a winger than I see him as a 10. So I was surprised that they made the switch.
Do you?
Yeah. You know what it is? Maybe it's because of the one trick that he has that he always seems to get off, the cutting in and shooting like Iron Robin does. Because he does that so good. I remember, see when Ethan broke through last season, a lot of the chat was, we found our Saka backup. We don't have to worry about buying anyone. And I'm not going to lie to you, I would have, and you guys might disagree with this, right? I would have happily kept Wanyeri as our right wing backup and then not signed to Noni.
I feel like he doesn't do enough on the wing after people start figuring out once you cut off that shooting option, we're just gonna crowd him out. And I think his injuries that he picked up around that period was around that time where people just started doing the Saka roughing up treatment, which I thought was really tough on him as a young kid. Like he was playing through injury, and I think I just felt like it was a bit much, and I think that's probably what Arteta looked at and thought, I'm going to keep you in the middle, kind of get you a little bit away from the people just kicking you off the ball that you're not going to see as much when you're in the middle.
Okay.
Compared to when you're in the middle.
Yeah. The thing is...
Manta, can I speak as a neutral quickly?
Yeah, go on.
It's Ed, by the way.
I was going to, man.
I was just going to say, just on Ethan, that specifically Ethan's situation you're talking about. From the outside looking in, I look at it like he's in terms of how you lot play. I don't think he fits how you lot play. Like, and that's why I think the real problem is for him. That you guys are very pragmatic, very structured, not overly risky. It's sort of one of the things I say hinders a bit with you lot as well right now, where because that's how you sort of play. It's never gonna work for someone like that. Like the reason why he went to Marseille was to play on the Deserby ball, and the Deserby ball is a lot more, possession heavy, a lot more risk friendly, as you say, way more sort of fluid, and encourages the players to sort of be as free as they want. Like that's not what Arteta does, and I think that's the main reason why I don't think Arteta is looking at him as a real option going forward. Like, as much as his talent is very clearly deserving of potentially being in a top 6 team or whatnot, like if it doesn't fit what the system you want to play, that he's saying the day this is what's gonna happen. Like, I know, say Brent we'll say like he just thinks, oh, Arteta's only playing like this today because it's going to get us over the line, and once it goes over the line, he'll go back to playing like how we were playing 3 years ago. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Arteta's here now, and he's like, this is where we're at. This is winning now, and this is why I'm going for the foreseeable. So I don't think something like that is going to fit in the long term. Like as much as you look at his talent, is it really going to? Is there any point keeping someone who's not going to fit just because we think he's so talented? You know what I mean?
No, I hear you, and you've definitely raised good points, and I agree with you. To be fair, I feel like I always latch onto one player or a player that I kind of like. Like it used to be Reece Nelson, right? You just like him, and you want to see him succeed. I think like for me now, Wanyeri is that player for me where I just want to see him succeed. I want to see his talent flourish. I want to see him, grow and become a star. And I feel like that's why I fight for him, because I just like Wanyeri. You know what I'm trying to say? But your argument makes sense, and Arteta's not playing him for a reason, right? Arteta signed Noni for a reason, so I'm sure, there's a reason why he hasn't been used. There's a reason why he went on loan. I just hate to see, talented players go, and that's kind of what it is. But in terms of logistically and on the pitch, I do get it. But I feel like I just have like a bit of attachment to him, where I just want to see my boy shine, man. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, I hear that loudly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because it's like, Gnabry, obviously he left under different circumstances, but when we have someone that good and then, they leave early and they go on to be a world beater elsewhere, it's like, damn, that he could have been our player, or he should be our player. And I feel that way about Wanyeri. I feel like when he leaves, because he probably will leave, he's going to go.
This is where I sometimes think about the way we think of our players and the way other people think of our players. I'm just trying to think where we think we're going to sell him for enough money
Chelsea.
that it's going to make sense. Like, I don't think Fulham aren't buying our players
Chelsea.
anymore.
Chelsea.
It's pure profit though. They don't care about how big the fee is really.
Oh, no. They care.
What's the number though? What's the number that you think
60 mil.
if we're going to sell a talent that we rate that highly, that you would accept?
Thing is, for me, for Ethan, if Elanga, went for 50, considering Ethan's age, considering his talent, considering the fact that he's one of the stars of the England under-21 team, and one of the players that Tuchel even picked to go to the training camp, right? And also, he's a Premier League champion now, I want about 65 to 70 million.
We're not getting.
And I know, I said that's what I want. That's what I want. Realistically, 50. 50 something.
You still think 50 is realistic?
100%. Bro, don't see Arsenal, yeah? We are the worst selling club in the world. You see how much money.
We are for a reason.
Bro, do you see how much?
I think wait. This too
how much did Omari Hutchinson go for?
It was 30.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was more than that.
No way it was more than 30.
That's what I'm saying. Someone Google that for me.
It wasn't.
It was more than 30. It was more than 30.
From Ipswich to Nottingham Forest.
From where's he at now?
He's at Nottingham Forest.
No, sorry, from Chelsea to wherever he went after Chelsea.
Yeah, that was Ipswich.
Somewhere. One of his moves, either from Chelsea to Ipswich or Ipswich to Forest, he went for more than 30.
I have to check that.
I might be wrong.
Because I'm sure it wasn't.
I think he went from nearly 40, no? Yeah, to Forest. He went to nearly 40.
So it was something high anyway, right?
Yeah.
But you see, where the reason why I feel like we can't really compare some of these, I think the only thing we can compare it to is if we say what Chelsea paid for Palmer, because that was more potential than it was all these other players that actually were playing in the Premier League and were showing that they could
what was the fee?
Well in the Premier League over a season or two. And I think what
was the fee?
What we do quite a lot is that we will rate our players, and rightly so, but when people say, well, we haven't really seen it. So it was like for ages I was telling people, I was even saying it in the Discord to people, I was like, MLS is a midfielder and when he plays in midfield, he will show how good he is. And everyone's like, but we haven't seen it. I'm like, but I know he can do it. I've seen enough when he comes in from left back, he can play that position, and he's obviously proved it. And that might have been what other people banked on, but we wouldn't have been able to get enough for it because no one has seen it. So I feel like Ethan, for me, if we sell him, I don't think teams are going to want to spend more than that 30 that I'm talking
No,
about.
you're
And I think
30.
that's not going to be enough to
30.
justify it.
30 is
Palmer's 40
insane.
to Chelsea.
30 is insane, but I think that's what people low us.
30 is insane. No,
Yeah.
no.
Chelsea
Remember,
went for 40, Palmer went for
low
40.
low blow. Sorry, low blow.
Yeah, Palmer was like 45, I think.
Yeah, but
think that's
you're acting like Ethan's on like he's in contract, right? I remember this is Berta. This is the same. I'm not sure you saw the report the other day that Arsenal want minimum of 18 to 20 million for Jesus, right? And they're not gonna sell him for peanuts just because, right? And this is Jesus. They want 20 mil for, right? An injury-ridden 29-year-old. So if they're asking for 20 for Jesus, you think they're asking for 30 for Ethan Wanyeri? Bro, come on.
Yeah,
man.
but what I think you need to take into account is that he can talk the hardest, but let's see if he can actually get a team to pay it.
I'm telling you,
that's a different
That's the
story.
thing. You have to. I think you do have to look at what's been happening in the market because like I said, Hutchinson, Palmer for 40. What's his name? Even someone like Garnacho went for 40. Like these lot are going for that sort of. But you know, what I mean, these sort of unproven young wingers, are going for that sort of money. Like that's. I wouldn't be shocked if that's sort of the bare minimum that you are aiming for to get with Ethan.
I'm telling you now,
Obviously, you should aim higher.
I'm confident. If we sell Ethan Wanyeri, I'm confident. You guys can quote me on this. We are getting more than 30 million. We're getting more than 40 million. I think at the lowest end, 45. At the lowest end, 45, and I think that's even low. You know what I mean?
So would you say it has to be 45 with a sell-on clause or buyback clause or something like that?
All the clauses. For Wanyeri, I want I want buyback. I want sell on. I want bonuses if he does this, if he does that. That guy is talented. I remember in Arteta's team, his whole talent might not be realized because of the way Arteta plays. Put him on a team that plays to his strengths. He's gonna ball out, bruv. He's gonna ball out.
Then I've got another question for you. Then, who do you think is going, and how much would you put price-wise? Because you've already said Bert has already said 18 to 20 for Jesus.
Yeah.
So who do you think's going, and how much do you think we should be looking to get for them?
All right, let's start with Ben White.
Okay.
So Ben White, obviously, we'll take into account his injury record. How old is Ben White?
He's injured right now.
He's about 27, right? 27, 28. I think for Ben White, was that
28?
28. England international, good pedigree. I want, and also, let's not underestimate name brand. I want 30 million.
I think it's only Everton.
I want 30 mil.
If
If he sell a fit Ben White, give me 30 million, and that even sounds a bit low to me. I'm hearing Odegaard might be, they're undecided about Odegaard, right? So if you sell Odegaard, just on name alone, you got to give me 65 million for Odegaard, right?
Okay.
You got to give me 65 million. Like, we paid 50 plus for Noni. So yeah, give me 65 million for Odegaard. Martinelli. See, Martinelli, his stock is all over the place, man. How he's viewed and, just his...
I would just show his Champions League numbers.
Yeah. Those numbers are great. So I think he's a hard sell because you would want to sell him for a lot just based off of his age and his the potential he still has. So to me, he's a hard sell, but I'm going to use the market for him. And again, if Alanga and Noni were 50, then give me 50 for Martinelli.
I just don't know who's going to buy him.
That's it. No, you're basing it off of who will pay that price. I'm just telling you what I want.
Okay.
But I understand that who's going to buy him, because it will have to be a Prem team, really. Trossard, obviously age is a major factor. Give me 18, man. Give me 18. Because I think Trossard's still got a couple good years left in him. And if he goes to, like, you know, Spain or Italy, might have a few more years.
He's only got 1 more year though.
Oh, is it? 15?
Yeah.
15. Give me 15. Jesus, I'm happy with the Berta's quote of 18 to 20. I'll take 20 though, at the higher end. And then who else?
Norgard.
Norgard. Oh, what are you going to get for Norgard, man? How much did we pay for Norgard? Like 13? Norgard, you just have to take...
I think it was closer to 10, but yeah.
Yeah, Norgard, you got to take whatever you're given. Because you ruined his stock by not playing him at all.
Absolutely.
Like, just ruined his stock. So you got to take... If they offer you 6 million, you got to take it. So give me 5 or 6 for Norgard.
But then do you sell him then? Or
I think you listen to
try and
offers.
reintegrate
I
him?
think you listen to offers. I think if you're trying to upgrade on this team, keeping a player who you gave 30 minutes of playing time to in the Prem, bar the final game against Palace, you sell him. You sell him. You don't want him. Clearly, you don't want him. Let's just be honest. Like, you don't want Norgard, so sell him. There's no point keeping him. I'm sorry. Like, he didn't play. He didn't play.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
I'm surprised by it, but he didn't play, so what's the point? And then this is... So I think that's everyone that's on the chopping block, to be fair. If we're going to add Ethan to this list, then I'm sticking to my guns. I want 55 million. I'm sorry.
Okay.
How old is he?
You know what I saw, and this was just more on maybe them thinking they need to sell too. I heard they were looking at potentially selling Kai as well.
I'm not going to lie. I'll sell Kai. I'm not... You know what it is about Arsenal players? I'm not attached to a lot of them. Like, I'm attached to, like for me, like, you can't sell Saka. You can't sell Saliba. You can't sell Gabriel. You can't sell Timber. Right? You can't sell Rice. You can't sell Eze. Everyone else, I'm not saying I want anyone else to go, like, you know, I want Nkapia to stay. I want Calafiori to stay. I want
Capri
to stay.
just came. We literally just triggered the permanent
No.
signing.
But what I'm saying is, if we were to sell him, or we wasn't to, you know, take up the option, I wouldn't be like, oh my God. I know he's good, but I just don't feel that attachment to him. You know what I mean? The players I've mentioned, untouchables, right? Gyökeres, Havertz, Odegaard, I wouldn't particularly mind. Not that I want them to go, but I wouldn't care if they left. Noni needs another season for me to feel a way about him. Again, he just came. Zubi, same thing, just came. Eze just came. You know, all the players who've just come, cool. They get grace to be like, you know what, we'll have to see them again 1 or 2 more seasons. But in terms of the guys who've been here for a while, Havertz, Odegaard, Trossard, Martinelli, Ben White, you know, even, again, Norgard just came in, but, you know, he speaks for himself. Yeah, they can go. Because I feel like 2 things have to happen for us. Oh, by the way, I feel like we're winning the league again next season. I felt a lot more confident before Liverpool appointed a new manager. And I'm kind of scared at that appointment, I'll be honest with you. It's frightening me, to be fair. But I feel like this is our time to reign now. Like, Pepper's gone. Arteta's going to be viewed as, you know, the top dog because he just won the league. And I feel like, you know, I feel like this is our time now. I feel like going back to back is crucial, in my opinion. Losing. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like that is the right mentality to go with. And that's what I would hope the club thinks as well. But I sort of felt like that when Liverpool last won the league, where I was like, that should have been ours. I feel like
Oh
we
yeah, 100%.
definitely.
Yeah. No, obviously, obviously, I felt that way
the
that
injuries
season.
killed us.
Yeah, injuries killed us. But, bro, you see, bro, every year, bar 22, 23, when we first challenged, every year after that, we all felt like we should, win the league. The year Liverpool won it was the worst because City had fallen off. So we just chased City for 2 seasons in a row, came second. Then when City finally fall off, Liverpool take it, right? So that was hard to take, right? Obviously, there were so many different factors to why we didn't, win it. Injuries, so many red cards. It's just the season was, and even how many points behind Liverpool were we at the end of the day? 10 points, something like that. So so it wasn't even close. Whereas the City seasons, it was like 2 points, whatever the case may be. So, but that season was irritating, highly irritating. But it didn't feel like we were challenging them. They just kind of ran away with it. And then obviously, coming into this season, I don't think anyone thought Liverpool would fall off like they did. Like, especially, like, no one could imagine it.
They started 5-5.
No one could imagine it. And then, especially after the summer they had. So we're thinking, they just won the league. They've signed Isak, TK, Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkes.
It was looking crazy.
Like, we were like, this team's going to go back to back. This team's going to go back to back.
Not believing.
What's that?
I want to give myself credit for not believing. Joking can attest I was early saying when they didn't sign Kane, I was like, they're defending it.
Yeah, no.
You were.
The thing is, even though I just named, header players that they signed, though, I did personally, and I was telling my Liverpool friends this, I told them this all the time. I don't feel like they had a good window in regards to squad building. I feel like they just signed, some of the best players in different positions, but you just lost Diaz, you just lost Jota, RIP. You're telling me what are your wing options? What? Gakpo and Rio and Chiesa. And my Liverpool friend was like, yeah, that's good enough. I said, Mo Salah, Chiesa, Gakpo and Rio. Those are your options for the wings. I think that's terrible.
His love of Gakpo is, for me, what should have got him sacked more than anything else.
Yeah, so again, signing, and I think a lot of people thought that if obviously if Isak was fit for the whole season, for example, right, it might be Isak on the left, TK up front, and Salah on the right. Obviously, it didn't work out that way.
I didn't like that.
It could. What have you seen the clip of Isak from the other day?
It's the whole Henry thing, innit? People like that Isak floats
balling
to the left and comes inside.
Balling. The guy's a ball. Listen. Let me go back to my initial point. Arsenal should win the league next season. I feel like we have to win the league next season. I'm not saying it's catastrophic if we don't, but considering the lay of the land, every top 6 team has a new manager. Every single one of them. Carrick is obviously
so new. So my second question to you would be...
New adjacent. One second.
Do we do it the same way we've done it this year? Because that's what people will be asking. Is that football sustainable?
You do it the best way you know how, right? And if you done it this way and you won, then there's no reason you shouldn't do it again. I personally feel like... What's that?
You're happy with that type of football?
I'm happy with winning. Obviously, I want to watch a better brand of football. I want more entertainment, right? But I always say this to everyone. You see the chances we miss in games. If we play the same way, but score more of our chances, no one really complains, right? So the games that... See the last 5 games we had this season, right? A lot of them, bar Fulham, finished 1-0. If we took 2 or 3 more chances and we still played the same way, but it was 2 or 3-0, would anyone really complain? I'm not complaining at 3-0.
No.
I'm not complaining at 3-0, no matter what it looks like, right? The issue is we're playing the way we're playing and we're not scoring many goals. But if we scored a few more goals but played the same way, no one would complain. And that's the point. So if this style of play means we're going to win, then have at it. Have at it. If we're going to win playing this way, have at it. Yes, I want to be entertained, for sure. And I want players who I know can produce certain things. Like, I want to see that player flourish in that manner. Like, I want to see Eze flourish in certain manner, right? But again, I want to win. But with the way the top six is looking, obviously Arteta being the seasoned manager now, right? I'm not saying the pressure's on us, but the onus will be on us to win it again, because obviously
the pressure's definitely on us.
Yeah, Slot came in as a new manager and won it first time, so that could happen again. Who knows? But I'm not looking at Alonso at Chelsea as a threat, to be fair. I'm not looking at De Zerbi at Spurs
If they can
to be a
sort
threat.
out their keeper, that might be an issue.
Who, Chelsea? What, with Gittins and Garnacho and Pedro Neto and them, man?
No Europe. No Europe has done wonders.
No
did wonders
Europe
for United.
No, it done wonders for United once Carrick took over. But we don't know what is Alonso going to be Carrick or is he going to be Amorim? You know what I'm trying to say?
I think he's a better manager than he showed at Madrid.
No, I think everyone agrees. I think everyone thinks he's a good manager from based off his time at Leverkusen. I don't think anyone thinks he's a bad manager. But you're judged in this game off what you done lately, innit? So people are judging him now off of Madrid. And I don't feel like that was a shit show, to be fair. I think that's more about, player management and other factors. But either way, right, Arteta is now, and again, this is Emery aside, right? To be fair, is Aston Villa even? They're in the Champions League, so who knows? They're in the mix, right? As a top 6 club, or no?
I think Champions League will kill them.
You think so?
Similar how it did to them the season they were in as well. I think it would just make it tougher because the squad's just not as good as they would want it to be.
Yeah. And financially, they have to sell more than other clubs do.
True.
And I don't think the pressure's as high as it was when they last got into the Champions League, though.
I don't think pressure from where?
No, as in selling wise.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like pressure to win.
Yeah, not like it's not as many players, but they still probably to make at least one sale, to like one big sale.
Morgan Rogers.
I think that's who they've agreed that's probably who it's going to be.
Yeah, it seems like it's happening. To be fair, it seems like Morgan Rogers will be an Arsenal player. And since
I think United are looking at him as well, though.
He ain't getting to United. Arsenal is no, he's not getting United. I'm telling you, Arsenal is the most attractive prospect right now in the Prem. In my opinion, we've just.
I think from what I've heard, it's not just. I think City sort of looked at him, and I think Chelsea apparently are still there. Apparently,
if Pep was still at City, you know what? Forget Pep. I'm just backing my team, innit? I think when you lay all the cards on the table right now, and you ask Morgan Rogers, who do you want to play for? I think he's choosing Arsenal. Arsenal was the most we're on the up.
Yeah, I'd think most players would pick Arsenal.
Yeah, right now we're on the up, and don't forget he's a England player, and you've got bare your England boys there. You know what I mean? So that's easy integration. Friends already there, players you already know, playing in London. I'm trying to say it's not like you're getting Chelsea. To me, is not a desirable team at the moment. Bar the money, bar them being another London team. I just feel like they're just a mess. How many managers have you had? Chelsea is a mess. Arsenal, when you think about Arsenal, you think about stability. You think about longevity. You think about, a young team who are thriving, who, you can see it. Everyone can see it. I mean, if you're Morgan Rogers and you fit the mold of young English black player, and you're going to go and join Rice, Saka, Eze, Madueke, Lewis Skelly, that's the enticing prospect right there. Just got to Champions League final. You know what I mean? So I think Rogers is done. I'm very not unsure, but indifferent about his signing. I'm not totally convinced he's what we need, but I'll take him. And the fact that Arteta really, really, really wants him, I kind of trust.
Yeah,
I trust Arteta in that regard.
So what? So I mean, you said obviously Krav is your dream.
Yeah.
So if we're talking realistic, what you think should be our number one? What's your choice then? If it's not Rodgers,
Our number one left wing left wing option.
Yeah, if Cravers the dream but not realistic. I'm talking number one realistic for you that you would want if it's not Rodgers.
Number one realistic. It's a tough question, you know. Because who is there that's realistic?
That's what I mean.
And you got to take Rashford.
Rashford wouldn't be my number one choice. Rashford would be similar to how, you know, you get rid of Martinelli and Trossard, and you bring in Rashford as a Trossard replacement, basically. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
The Rashford rotation, yeah.
Yeah. You don't sign Rashford as your main left wing, but you sign him as your another option. So I'll take
I don't
Rashford.
think he'd come to us if he's not starting.
He was not starting at Barca, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's Barca. I don't want to do that in the Prem.
Who would I
think
take?
his pride won't allow it.
Because I don't want Leao. I did hear that Leao was offered to us, to be fair. But so
I
Leao, I
want
don't
Leao
want.
either.
Let me not say I don't want. Let me just say who isn't a first option for me. So Leao's not a first option. Neither is Barcola. Neither is Rodgers. I didn't want Gordon when he was linked to us. I just don't fancy Anthony Gordon like that. Who else is there? Left wing. Obviously, Rashford's not a first choice.
I think there's the from RB Leipzig. What's his name? Jan Diamandi.
Yeah, Mandy.
You're the other
Diamandi.
one that I've heard about.
But he's been. Oh no, sorry. What about Yildiz? Yildiz at Juve, right? He's been linked to us a lot for the past couple of years.
He is a player, but I think he recently signed a new contract, so I don't see that happening.
Okay. I guess it's looking like it's Rodgers then. If Rodgers, the thing is, I don't view him as a left winger, so that's why I'm like Rodgers as a left. I look at him more as a 10. But if it's Rodgers and Martinelli, then you know what I mean, because for me it can't be Rodgers and Trossard. It has to be Rodgers and Martinelli. I need two different profiles there. And I wouldn't be that against keeping Martinelli. I think if we do
I
keep,
think Martinelli as a substitute is a good option.
yeah,
I just think it's when he's starting that it just looks like trouble. And obviously when he came on in the Champions League, and oh my gosh, that pass that he should have made, that he flopped when we had them on the break.
yeah, I remember that. Actually.
And I was just like, this is the problem. Like, he can't be the person that you're looking to make that kind of pass. Not really. It's you want him to be on the end of things to try and like.
But remember the pass.
cross
Remember the
quickly or
pass he
shoot
made
quickly.
to Gyökeres though, with outside of his foot. So
Oh, yeah. Come on.
these players. That's the thing about players. Like he has the tech in him, but when is he going to bring it out? What moments is he going to bring it out? Because you done a pass like that outside of the foot from how many yards out to find Gyökeres against Inter, but then the other day you just.
He's just not. But he's not that Samba Brazilian though, and I think we've kind of accepted it. I have anyway. I just
Man
don't
said
know if
kind
he'll
of
ever
accepted it.
be that player.
Bruv, that's already been accepted, bruv.
No, but there was a lot of people
no
that
one,
were
no
really
one
pushing.
Nah, since bruv.
Not the Samba Brazilian, but they were pushing this guy that was like, we kept bringing up the 2022, 23 Martinelli.
Yeah, but that wasn't
doing
Samba.
whatever
Though.
he wanted.
Yeah, but that wasn't Samba.
No, it was efficiency.
Yeah, no, he's never been Samba. He's never been, you know, he's a runner. He's a runner. I do feel like at a certain point, I thought he was going to be a Leng man, like you see the goal he scored against Club Rouge, like that type of goal, you know.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was going to be the regular Martinelli, like that's the type of goal.
I think we all did.
You know what I mean? Like those type of just banging it from deep, and even the funny thing is he's had a weird season because he's only scored one goal in the Prem, but that was that goal against City, right? And he scored a lot of goals.
And that was a finish.
Yeah, he scored a lot of goals in Champions League. So he's had a very weird season to where you've only got one goal in the Prem, but it was a very, very, very pivotal goal, and it was a good goal too. And then your Champions League goals make up for it because you're a top scorer, right, in Champions League.
I think so, yeah.
And that, even though we end up winning the league by 7 points, you know, the point that he got us, or even, you know, taking away points from City was pivotal. But with Martinelli, I think for me, he has one more season of not of grace, but he's got one more season in him at Arsenal. And I think if he doesn't go this season and he stays this season, then he has to go the next if he doesn't excel. And I mean excel. Like, he can't go into next season and be okay, right? He has to actually peak. We need to
I
see.
just don't know if we're ever going to see that peak, though. I think his best season will be
Done.
for us, unfortunately.
Listen, I hope not, but I hear you.
Mm.
I hope not, but I hear you. All right, guys.
We're going into it.
What's that?
Are you leaving?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna start wrapping up now. So, any final thoughts? I will be, obviously. You've got I was even contemplating staying up for the next game. Starts at what's happening at the start?
I think it's 1. Is it 1, Ed?
Yeah, I might go home. I was either going to stay up or I'm going to wake up in a couple of hours. But
I mean, I don't know what New York's going to look like. The fact that they lit up the Empire State Building with Arsenal colours, I think if Knicks win it, they might destroy that building. I don't think New York are ready for the Knicks winning the championship.
Of course they ain't. Well, these guys go berserk.
It's going to be insane.
For just regular playoff wins, let alone winning the actual championship.
Fandom aside, what's your prediction then? Who's winning the ring?
Oh, Knicks all the way, baby. And that's fandom aside.
How many games?
Knicks in 6.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, listen, Wemby, you've got enough time, man. You're young. You got enough time to win it. It's the Knicks' time, man. We're winning it.
I just don't know if we're going to stop that alien.
We've had rest, right? Mitchell Robinson's, got the surgery, everything wrapped up, everything copacetic. You know what I mean? Don't worry, OG's are going to be on him.
OG's cold. OG's cold.
OG's going to lock Wemby up. You know what I'm trying to say?
But you need Hart to be reigning freeze.
Trust me, everyone's going to be on it. We're going to beat the Spurs. This is the year, man.
Spurs and 6 is tough.
It was the year for Arsenal, and it's going to be the year for the Knicks. This is the year, man. I'm telling you, Knicks in 6 is going down.
It'll be nice for you. It'll be a decent way to end the summer. That's for sure.
No, I believe. Game 1 tonight. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously NBA games are weird because of the time, but I'll probably try and do an NBA show maybe by game 4. So maybe before game 4, I'll come back and we can discuss the first 3 games. Yeah. So I'll check what date that is and I'll be here. So yeah, let's come back after the first 3 games and discuss what we've seen thus far. But yeah, guys, any other final thoughts? Shout outs?
Just really enjoyed the fact that obviously Arsenal won the league.
Yeah, man.
I'm hoping for more of that joy next season. And then, I mean, World Cup wise, I don't even know if there's. I don't think I'm going to pay much attention. This might be the first World Cup where I don't.
Yeah, World Cup wise, I think once the World Cup starts, I think every show I do, I might just have a list of things to discuss, whether it be, what World Cup games happened the day before or the week prior, Arsenal, transfer news, gossip, whatever's happening with Arsenal, plus maybe, obviously paying attention to what happens with the Arsenal players at the World Cup. I do actually predict that an Arsenal player will win the World Cup. So whether it be the England boys, the Spanish boys, Saliba, even though I'm hearing he's going to have surgery on his back, I'm not sure when that's going to happen.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That was scary news when I heard that.
Or who got the English boys, Spanish boys, Saliba. Where else do we have a big contingent of players?
Timber for Holland.
Holland ain't winning no World Cup.
I know, but he's there. If we're talking,
yeah, he's there. Well, no,
players.
if you're talking about players who could actually win the World Cup, I think it's going to be out of Raya, Marino, Zubimendi, Saliba, or Rice, Saka, Madueke, and Noni. I think those are the players who have the best chance of winning the World Cup. I don't think any team outside of those, in regards to where Arsenal players are anyway. Oh, no, sorry. I'm even forgetting about Brazil.
Gabby and
Martinelli.
Martinelli.
Yeah.
Martinelli picked for that.
What's that?
I said, no, I didn't know Martinelli got picked for that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So Martinelli and Gabriel. Even though I don't feel like Argentina are favourites or they will win it, they're still there. My pick is France. My pick's France still. I think France will win it. But yeah, my prediction is an Arsenal player will win the World Cup. But yeah, the shows I do, we'll definitely discuss World Cup. You know, what games are important, goals, whatever. Then everything around Arsenal, and then obviously prior to the World Cup, NBA. So yeah, Arsenal chat probably stop. Obviously, we'll talk about whatever transfer gossip we hear. But yeah, next show will be mainly about the NBA. So guys, if you're let me even check the schedule so I can give you guys a heads up now.
Game 4's next Thursday.
Game 4. When's game 3?
Tuesday, I want to say. That Tuesday, like it's in that Monday night. So let's do that Monday night.
Monday night. All right, cool. Then let's say Wednesday. Let's say this same time Wednesday, or not same time, earlier. I meant to actually start earlier, to be fair. Let's say next Wednesday. I'll find out from Brent, but hopefully around 9. So next Wednesday, let's get together and discuss the first 3 games, and then go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
Apparently, Deschamps has just come out and said Saliba's fine.
All right, cool, perfect. Mundo. All right, guys, have a good night. Let's go, Knicks. See you guys next week.
Cool.
Peace.
There's
Appreciate it. Oh.